How's it going, everybody? What is up? Moses here, bringing you a new build. I know I just did the ground slam, elemental ground slam sound, but yeah, we quickly moved it up to a new character this time. This one was on Sunday, and today is only Wednesday, and I already have like a fully leveled character. I've been busy. Anyways, this one is a little different. It's a CI bow build. First time I get to do something like this, an attack CI build, and it's mostly because it's been a while since I made a bow, and I found this chest, and like I linked it, but I don't need to link it because I ended up crafting this bow, and yeah, that's currently what we have. So let's go through the character. We got this high raise ire. What it does, there's a nice synergy with the Trickster Ascendancy that makes evasion on the chest. You get energy shield as bonus per evasion, right? Escape artist. So each 6 evasion rating on the body armor equal 1 energy shield, and this one almost has 3000, so that's like 480 475 flat energy shield that we're getting on the chest. On top of that, it has 180 to 243 cold damage to bow attacks, and that's a global roll. That means it will be able to influence any socketed bow attacks all over your gear. It's not socketed on the chest, it could be anywhere. This is why we keep our main 6 link, which is a pseudo 7 link, on the bow, which makes it essentially a pseudo 8 link because of this chest, because it's incredible. 180 to 243 basically almost equals even more than an added cold gem. So it's quite insane when it comes to how much damage actually gives you. It's more than another link. So these two items, the bow that I crafted and this chest, kind of like, okay, let's try and do something different. So Scourge Arrow works really nice because it's all about the channeling. We are getting frenzy and power charges when we're channeling, and it's a bow skill that is a channeling skill, so that's why I picked it. Outside of that, Ghost Dance and Escape Artist, lots of attack speed on the baby nodes, lots of energy shield, so good synergy for a CI build. And we picked up Harness the Void for a whole bunch of added chaos damage. We could also pick up Patient Reaper, which is really nice for mapping, for sustainability, but I think that we're doing just fine picking up Harness the Void for more damage. So yeah, I leveled up with a life build all the way to 68 with a Storm Prison and Val Rain of Arrows from level 11 basically. Up until then I was doing Split Arrow with some added cold, added lightning, whatever, and then Val Rain of Arrows carried me throughout the whole story. I killed Kitava at 6 hours and 40 minutes. I leveled up doing Breachstones and all that kind of stuff to level 82 in a couple of hours. And then this is where we are right now. Leveled up a little bit more after I transitioned into full energy shield. And since this is not very trivial, I actually had to think a little bit coming up with the tree, because this is like my third energy shield character. But essentially, it's very similar to a life build. So let's go through the tree. Just picking up all the elemental nodes. Potentially, this will be better for me to start off as. Potentially because it's physical and chaos, and I'm dealing a lot of chaos damage. So I gotta think about that, and there's also some 12 attack speed. Perhaps we will change this tree a little bit and pick up these starting nodes instead of these starting nodes, but we'll see. I think we do still want all the crit. Just that coordination is such a nice node with the 12 attack speed. Yeah, it's something I'm going to think about, whether we go through here or we go through here. I think still elemental and crit is going to be better for us. Yeah, most likely. Either way, so we go through the elemental nodes, crit, assassination, some damage, big energy shield node, lots of energy shield and evasion for us here. So instead of going through here and the life node, we just go through here and pick up these energy shield evasion. So that's all there is to it. Over here, down here, we got the crit for bows. More crit, pretty standard stuff that we would do in any lifebow build. Over here we got herbalism, except I have an energy from within which converts the life into energy shield, so it gives us roughly 400 plus energy shield. So this is all energy shield nodes with energy from within. The elemental damage with attacks cluster, the bow crit cluster, the channeling cluster, the conversion. So Scourge Arrow converts 60% to chaos, which is why we have lots of chaos damage, because the physical converted, and this is a big physical bow, so a lot of that is converted to chaos. And then Winter Spirit converts the the rest of the physical to cold, so we get a whole bunch of added cold through that, and it also gives us this little cluster, a little bit of cold damage with attack skills. So that's very good for us. Over here we got the crit versus blinded enemies. This crit is not reflected on the sheet. When you're looking at your offense for Scourge Arrow, it will say 70.75 chance to crit. Wow, that's a lot. I have only one power charge. Wow. Seems good. I did not know first time I look at it. 70.75, and then you get 25, that's 90. 90% off of 9 is like 8%-ish, right? So you're getting roughly 80% base crit without power charges. Maybe I remove increased critical strikes. Oh, it goes way down. Kills you, 20%. Something you need to think about. Perhaps it's going to be worthwhile for me to remove critical strikes and use like damage on full life or something like that. Either way, channeling cluster over here, point blank and weapon cold, and fangs of frost for all that cold penetration is going to be our next couple of levels. And yeah, over here, Soul Thief, a whole bunch of energy shield and evasion. Written in Blood, a whole bunch of energy shield. It's a hybrid energy shield life, but there's no way to convert it, so we can't. But however, melding does have, it's a life energy shield cluster, and with a second energy from within, we getting our these life converted to energy shield as well. So it's the same trick. Once over here, it fits well, and once over here, giving us both of these, just a whole lot of energy shield. 5.78 into 6.5, so like 700 plus ES or something like that. So it's a lot. Yeah, and then energy shield from Foresight, and we can potentially continue picking up these 6 noders right here. Crit, Chaos Inoculation, more energy shield, surprise, surprise. We could try potentially to go into Arcane Will. I will probably check that once I level up and gain a little bit more levels, because 4% of mana as extra energy shield with the increased maximum mana may be useful for me, may give me a decent chunk of energy shield. If it's worth it, I'm going to spec into it. If not, I'm going to spec 2 points into energy shield, right? But currently we have more nodes that give us damage, so it's better to do that. We did have a big problem with accuracy for this build, so the only way for me to be able to get the accuracy I needed is to get a tempered mine socketed over here. It's a great spot for it. As you can see, my accuracy is 81, and then it's 96. 91 versus evasive monsters, 74. So in a crit build, since you're relying on your crit, you really want near 100% chance to hit, because you know you need to hit and then you need to crit. So it's like two rolls. If you want to do effective good damage, you need to hit and you need to crit. So crit, we already saw, we got 70% without power charges, without diamond flask, so we're covered. But we need to hit the actual monsters, right? The only way to do that is with accuracy, and a great way of doing that, since my tree is already going through here, spending 1, 2, 3, 4 points to use a tempered mind. Well, definitely worth our while because we're getting a whole lot of accuracy, and with this accuracy, you see it's 8k DPS. You see the damage per second here, 43.3, 51.3. So it's 8k DPS off of the accuracy alone. The way that it works is that unallocated intelligence, 10 unallocated intelligence, gives us 125, and since we have 70 total intelligence over here, if you just write intelligence in the search window, you'll see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 unallocated intelligence nodes. That's 7 times 125. That's roughly 900 accuracy. So it's the equivalent of having 2 tier 1 accuracy rolls on 2 pieces of gear, which in Soul Found I simply do not have. If this was a trade league, problem solved, easy clap. You just buy some energy shield gear with accuracy. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff super cheap that you could get because nobody plays energy shield attack stuff. Who does that? But for me in SSF, that's the only way I could have done it. Yeah, that's basically it. Let's go through the links because I think I did not do that. So Scourge Arrow, increased critical strikes, Energy Leech, Mirage Archer, added cold damage, elemental damage with attacks. Damage on full life is great. I don't have strength to cap it, so currently I think added cold is going to be better. And coloring 4 off colors on a pure dexterity bow could be a bit of a pain in the brain, so I just stick with added cold for now, but maybe we'll try and change that later to try and kind of like compare tooltips and see what's up with that. But for now, we also have that vicious projectile. So the bow itself is just a vicious projectile with attack speed if you've killed recently, which you can get off of an Elder base, and I did pick up a crit Elder base bow. Probably an attack speed, like if you guys browse backwards on my YouTube channel, you see me trying to double corrupt thicket bow. It has 1.5 base attack speed and it has like I think 1.68 attacks per second. I destroyed it, spoiler alert, in the double corruption chamber, as I did many times. There's plenty of videos like that on my YouTube channel, you can check them. So I destroyed it, and then I crafted this one as a Harbinger bow. I figured either attack speed or crit, both of them are good for me, and I didn't find a thicket bow, and I did want to make this build, so I picked up a Harbinger bow. But I think a thicket bow would be better because you really want a lot of attack speed to feel good with Scourge Arrow, and the more the better. So, but yeah, I managed to get the attack speed if you've killed recently, so it makes up for not having a thicket bow over here. Yeah, so this is these are the links over here. I have a 5-link aura setup. I don't really need it, I just have it because this is somehow 6-linked. So discipline, precision, and herald of ice are my auras. I also linked it with enlighten as mentioned, and then increased duration just work on the Val Discipline portion. Val Discipline is a button that allows us to instantly generate energy shield, right? It just starts our energy shield recharge, and it does not allow interruption from damage. So even if we take damage, we still regenerate as much energy shield that we regenerate, which currently says 2.4 per second. So 2.4k per second, 2400 per second, and as soon as we get that instant energy shield regen, so we heal effectively. And so for duration, right? It says duration, I don't know, 5.07 seconds, and if we remove it, it's 3 seconds. So instead of having for 3 seconds increased duration, just makes it 5 seconds. So pretty decent. And then blink arrow faster attacks on the boots. And then this belt is something that I always thought is really cool. Never got to actually use it in a build because you don't really get to make too many attack build, energy shield attack build characters, but it really comes in handy because as tricksters we're getting +1/+1 frenzy and power charge, and this belt means that you get increased elemental damage per power charge. So it's 23 and we got 4, so it's like 90% increased elemental damage with attacks. And if I spec into more power charges like infused and instability, that's 46% increased elemental damage with more power charges, which is very, very good. So potentially we could do that. We'll see how things go when I level up. Maybe I'll prioritize energy shield instead. But it's definitely a very, very nice belt, and it gives you some mana leech per power charge, so you don't need to invest mana leech on the tree. But what you do have to do is just make sure to not rely on RNG to generate these power charges. And so I crafted +1 minimum power charge on my amulet, so I always have some form of mana leech, right? Because I always have +1 from that. Outside of that, this amulet is just strength and energy shield, which I really needed just strength. It's really hard to get strength on a build like this, so I just multi-modded strength, energy shield, increased max energy shield, +1 power charge, some elemental damage with attacks, nothing too fancy. Quiver is a shaper quiver. It's got that physical as extra cold, really bad crit multi-roll, decent attack speed roll, but it's what it is. Managed to get some mental damage with attacks over here, so it's just a lot of damage on this quiver. Yeah, I think there's a couple of Void Fletcher from Uber Elder has some energy shield, and there's another quiver that has some energy shield. If I find any of these, I may consider swapping to get some more energy shield, but this quiver is really good. Just a lot of damage on my offhand. And yeah, this amulet, some resist, some elemental damage with attacks, some attack speed, lots of energy shield, some resist and movement speed, as much energy shield that I could get with lots of resist. This is my gear. When it comes to jewels, again, we only have these 3 unique jewels, and I don't have room for any quick 2-socket or 2-point jewel node. So our only jewel socket would be here, but that's way later, and I really don't have any good bow jewels at the moment. I will have to craft them. So if I find one that's going to be worthwhile investing 3 points, we'll get there. But I really do have some more things to do with the tree. Probably the weapon cold damage, Fangs of Frost, and then some energy shield. On the amulet, I ended up anointing a natural calm. It's like 300 energy shield and +1 max light res, some energy shield recharge rate, so it was hard for me not to get it. Potentially we'll go into Essence Surge. It's like really good, but it's 4 points, it's so far away. Also potentially Wicked Ward right here. We'll see. Basically, yeah, cannot be interrupted by damage if began recently, but you know, much less energy shield regeneration rate. We'll see how we fare. Still kind of like testing the build out. And yeah, this is the build. It's time to show it. Let's pick a map. Let's do Basilica tier 13. And we'll call it build. Where is Basilica? So, yeah, okay. 2 additional projectiles, extra, okay. Resistances. Could be tough, but we'll see how we do. Hopefully there's no boss on the Cassia thing, because, you know, with 40 elemental resist could be a bit annoying. Oh yeah, did I go through the flasks? No. Basically just evasion, quartz, and then your onslaught diamond for crit and movement speed, that's all. And I got all the proper suffixes, so you know. Oh, reach. All the proper suffixes to remove, you know, bleed, freeze, curses, ignites, and yeah, poison. When it comes to the Pantheon powers, I just pick up Soul of Lunaris and I do all the in the Major God and all the upgrades to Souls of Lunaris. And when it comes to the I actually need 7 splinters for a Breedstone. I have 7. Yeah, I had exactly 93. I remember because I was leveling up with them. So yeah, I mean, Mirage Archer does great work. Scourge Arrow is nice and smooth. The character is rather fast. I only have 25 movement speed, unfortunately, so it is somewhat noticeable for me, but just a little bit. It's not even that big of a deal. And yeah, when maps have 40% resistances, I still haven't picked up Fangs of Frost, so I don't have too much elemental penetration. If I had, you know, I would use Wise Oak here if I could. Can't really, but I totally would. And yeah, the micro, people ask me, it's just automaton herald effect. So nothing too insane. Still glows, sure. Yeah, maps with 40 all resist to monsters are a bit annoying until we level up some gems and fine tune some other things. But yeah, this is the character, and as far as I'm concerned, it's quite alright. Don't have warding now. And yeah, I'm sure once we level up some gems, get some more fine-tuning going on, we'll probably have an Uber Elder boss kill for you guys. I also need to get used to the actual build, because I'm not quite used to. So like right now, I'm spewing my flasks and everything, but I shouldn't, because... Ouchie! See, this is a good opportunity to press my Val. Discipline? Took some damage and he's also igniting. I didn't have my dousing flask up. Yeah, I mean, it's rather smooth. We basically insta-phased and it's nothing. It's just a tier 13 map boss. takes forever. But hey, at least these monsters now give XP. They didn't used to, and this is it. They didn't used to give XP. Give me this node. 12% cold damage with attacks. Pretty decent node right there. Of course, Fangs of Frost is big damage node for us. With the cold penetration and 30% cold damage to attacks. Where's Cassia? I have a problem with over spamming my flask. I don't know where Cassia. Oh, bottom right hand. Okay. We can do this little Blight encounter. My only problem with a bow character that is not Ranger is the cooldown of Blink Arrow. God. It's awful. Sometimes you have to walk. It just takes forever. Of course, it doesn't have quality yet. Maybe I should just spam. I got like 200... what's it called? GCPs. So yeah, maybe I just do that. Fire lightning for lulz. So you like immediately get leech. And I also need to remember to use my war banner because I kind of like always forget. Let's put one of these here. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a blighted map like a tier 10 or 11. They only have tier 15s, and I'm not quite sure that I could do a tier 15 blighted map on a level 80 character, 84, 3, 5. Not quite yet. But I will do some blighted map because I really do want to test out the clear. Oh yeah, pressing the things when the map is over. Better late than never. One more monster here somewhere. There. Alright, so guys, this is the character. It's a lot of fun, and I'm happy to announce Energy Shield attack build works. It's different. It's definitely different. I don't know. There's something about Energy Shield, and I've only made a handful of Energy. Most of my builds are life. I usually don't go through the trouble of you know, all the Energy Shield stuff, simply because I don't know why. I just don't. I just don't. Life feels more intuitive, more you know, immediate, close, relatable, and I just do that. But this is like working quite nicely for now. And if this was like a trade league, I mean, I got 6.5k. I could probably hit 7k. I think it's pretty solid for a sole self-found character. Either way, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and come check out the stream. I don't stream too much these days, you know, for obvious reasons. But I am still here. I just finished like a 5-hour stream. So yeah, come check it out whenever you get the chance. Thanks guys. See you guys. Bye-bye.